immigration. Can Donald Trump give you a green? Hey guys, before you file for your spouse, hey guys, come on in, say hello. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. I have some breaking news. The travel bans, they're finally here. Okay. So in this one, I'm going to break it down for you and discuss which countries are impacted, who is exempt exempt, so to speak, from this travel ban, who this does not apply to, the bans, and some other information related to the ban. So come on in, say hello, say freedom now. Tonight is June 4th. We first talked about the travel bans back in March 7th, okay? March 7th is when we talked about the fact that we were expecting major suspension of travel to the United States in various color-coded schemes, including the red country color code, orange, and I believe the other one was yellow. Well, today or tonight, we finally have some details about this travel ban, and it includes 19 countries, okay? 19 countries, and this is effective. It will be effective on Monday, June 9th. So, as warned months ago, if you're outside of the United States and you're a part of you're potentially your visa has already been issued to you and you've been thinking about this issue. We had warned you way back when that certainly you should jump on things, move on things with your visa center process. Don't sit on anything. There were various warnings that we provided back then. Now in tonight's session, I'm going to break down for you what you should be concerned about and how this is going to work. So 12 countries are banned. They face a full suspension of travel to the United States, and then 7 countries have a partial ban. The full suspension applies to nationals from Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Partial ban applies to Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. Okay, partial ban versus the full suspension. We're going to break down the difference between the two momentarily. Now, who should not worry about this problem? Okay, the travel ban problem that many people across the globe in these countries are facing will face on Monday. Who does this not apply to? It does not apply to green card holders, lawful permanent residents. That's a huge relief because back in March, we knew nothing. We suspected the worst because what else could we expect, right? So green card holders are not impacted by this. Dual citizens are also not impacted by this. So if you're a national from a country that is not subjected to one of these bans, then you can travel on that other passport and gain entry into the United States. Okay. Diplomats are not impacted by this. Athletes, particularly those who participate in the World Cup, the Olympics, and some other major competitions. Immediate relatives of U.S. citizens are not impacted by this as well. Okay. They're just going to up the burden of proof that you'll need to provide to the U.S. Embassy to show that you are really connected you have that family relationship. Okay. Immediate relatives of U.S. citizens are not impacted by this, which means that you could still get your visa, your immigrant visa, to come to the United States and be with your family. Children going through the adoption process are also not impacted by this. Then there are individuals who are seeking the Afghan special immigrant visa. Okay, not impacted. Others not impacted, those seeking the special immigrant visas for U.S. government employees, and then also the immigrant visas for ethnic and religious minorities facing persecution in Iran. Okay. Now, national interest waivers will be available for folks to submit from these countries to submit as far as why they should be allowed entry into the United States. Within 90 days of this, the ban or bans going into effect, the government will do an assessment to determine whether to end a ban on a country or modify the ban. And then every 6 months after that, they're going to do assessments. Um, this is, by the way, this is how I took my notes. I just got home and I had to quickly scribble some things on a piece of paper here, okay? I haven't even had dinner yet. Okay. The other issue is this: no visas issued before the effective date of this proclamation shall be revoked. It says this in the ban, and I'll pull up the proclamation momentarily. So if you had an immigrant visa or a non-immigrant visa that was issued before Monday coming, then those visas will not, your visa will not be revoked. It also says that it doesn't apply to anyone who has been granted asylum or any refugees inside of the United States or individuals who have withholding of removal or protection under CAT, Convention Against Torture, and that it also doesn't limit folks from seeking asylum here in the United States, okay? So that's really the summary of the travel bans. And now we're going to go right into the actual document so that you guys, if you guys can see the justification, because some of you might be wondering, why in the world is Haiti on the list as far as a full suspension? Why? Sierra Leone, why is there a partial ban? Why, you might be wondering why. Well, the justification has been provided to us in the proclamation. So here this is the restricting the entry of foreign nationals to protect the United States from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats. You might be saying, but wait a minute, what specific event happened, like 9/11, right? That would warrant something like this. That's just keep that in mind. I mean, yes, we know that there are acts of violence and other things happening, some created by individuals here in caused by U.S. citizens and others. But what has specifically happened that we could point to say that we really need this? So let's look at the justification here by the White House. The proclamation says that there are problems with these countries as far as their ability to vet their nationals. This says that, hold on one second. Let me just jump down to what President Trump says here. As president, I must act to protect the national security and national interests of the United States and its people. I remain committed to engaging with those countries willing to cooperate to improve information sharing and identity management procedures and to address both terrorism-related and public safety threats. Nationals of some countries also pose significant risk of overstaying their visas in the United States, which increases burdens on immigration and law enforcement components of the United States and often exacerbates other risks related to national security and public safety. Okay, now let's go down a little bit here and see what the justification is for, let's see, which country should we start with? Let's go down to um, Section 2, the full suspension of entry for nationals from various countries. Let's go to, let's go to Haiti. Okay, let's start there. Okay. Why in the world is Haiti on this list? According to the Overstay report, which is the visa overstay report, Haiti had a B1, B2 visa overstay rate of 31.38% and an F, M, and J visa overstay rate of 25%. Additionally, here's the real reason. Hundreds of thousands of illegal Haitian aliens flooded into the United States during the Biden administration. This influx harms American communities by creating acute risk of increased overstay rates, establishment of criminal networks, and other national security threats. As is widely known, Haiti lacks a central authority with sufficient availability and dissemination of law enforcement information necessary to ensure its nationals do not undermine the national security of the United States. The entry into the United States of nationals of Haiti as immigrants and non-immigrants is hereby fully suspended, except those categories that we discussed earlier, okay? Um, like immediate relative categories. Um, and by the way, if you have any dual citizens, if you have dual citizenship and you're traveling with the passport from the other country that's not suspended, you'll be able to gain entry into the United States. Then there are other countries on here that we would think, okay, this makes sense, right? Here you have Iran. Iran is a state sponsor of terrorism. Iran regularly fails to cooperate with the United States government in identifying security risks. Don't come after me after what I just said with respect to it makes sense, okay? A lot of what we're seeing today doesn't make sense, including the travel ban. So I just stand corrected there. Iran is a state sponsor of terrorism. Iran regularly fails to cooperate with the United States government in identifying security risk, is the source of significant terrorism around the world, and has historically failed to accept back its removable nationals. Therefore, they're suspending entry of those who are seeking a green card or immigrant visa, and those who are seeking non-immigrant visas. Then you have Libya, again, terrorism related. Somalia. Somalia lacks a competent or cooperative central authority for issuing passports or civil documents, and it does not have appropriate screening and vetting measures. And then it goes on to say all these other problems that they found related to Somalia. And then Sudan is on the list. I had also mentioned that full suspension applies to the Republic of Congo, okay, and Yemen. So those are, and then Cuba. Cuba is a state sponsor of terrorism. The government of Cuba does not cooperate or share sufficient law enforcement information with the United States. Cuba has historically refused to accept back its removable nationals, and also according to the Visa Overstay report, Cuban nationals have an overstay rate, guys, get this, of 7%, well, 7.69%. And an F, M, and J visa overstay rate of 18.75%. Okay, so guys, certainly there's a lot more to it. I'm not going to go into the justification for each and every country. I'll end it with maybe Sierra Leone here, which also is subjected to a full ban. And it says here, according to the the overstay report, the B1, B2 visa overstay rate is 15.43%, and an FM and J visa overstay rate of 35%. And Sierra Leone has historically failed to accept back its removable nationals. This is a common theme that we're seeing here for some countries. The fact that they refused to accept individuals back who the U.S. government is trying to deport. Okay, so they just tag that on here. It's not really, I don't see anything here related to national security threats or terrorism related issues involving Sierra Leone and even some other countries. It's just this vague visa overstay report, in addition to the fact that they just refuse to take people back, the allegation says. And then you have the tiny country of Togo. If you're out there, we have some clients from Togo, from many of these countries, and I'm, surprised to see Togo. Why is Togo on this list? Well, Togo is on this list of partial ban, because they have a 19% visa overstay, B1, B2 visa overstay rate, and then their students have an overstay rate of 35%. And so therefore they're suspending, partially banning entry into the United States. The entry into the United States of nationals of Togo as immigrants and as non-immigrants on B1, B2, B1, B2, F, M, and J visa is hereby suspended. Visas. Okay. All right. So then it says, let's go down to, I'm going to go over again for those of you who have are joining now. I'm going to share with you information about who this does not apply to. So Section 4 talks about the scope and implementation of this travel ban. And it says here that, let's see. The suspensions of and limitations on entry. Let's get water break. Shall apply only to foreign nationals of the designated countries who are outside of the United States. So you have to be outside of the United States on the date, the effective date of this proclamation, and do not have a valid visa on the date, the effective date of this proclamation. And the proclamation doesn't apply again to green card holders, lawful permanent residents, any dual national, if you have a dual citizenship, and then diplomats and certain athletes who are coming here for the World Cup or the Olympics or any major sporting event, immediate family members, okay, of U.S. citizens. You will not face the problem of the ban. Okay, thank you for this on TikTok. Thank you for the gifts. But you have to show with clear and convincing evidence of your identity and your family relationship. And they have here, for example, DNA, be subjected to DNA testing, and then adoptions, Afghan special immigrant visas also exempt, and some others are also exempt. And then it talks about the waivers that individuals can seek based on the national interests of the United States. So there you have it, guys. 19 countries will be banned starting on Monday. 12 of them are fully banned, full suspension of entry into the United States, except those circumstances, those types of travelers who I've mentioned. And then 7 countries are partially banned. Now, with that being said, let's see what questions you have. This is all on the White House's website. I did not see remember back in March when we were talking about this, there were other countries like Caribbean countries. I mean, Haiti's on here and it's a Caribbean country, but there were some other countries on here too on the speculated list that needed to begin working on some things to get their act together. Otherwise, they were going to face a ban, like the yellow list, I think it was. I didn't see anything here related to that. And I know that my Nigerians out there, they are celebrating. Here you have one. Nigeria made it through. Nigeria made it through. Yes, this time. You remember it was a problem some years ago. Is Jamaica on the list? Jamaica is not on the list. The Caribbean countries are not on the list as speculated, except for Haiti, which is subjected to a full suspension, which makes no sense in light of the conditions going on in Haiti. And now we're saying, well, those folks can't come here. Now people are going to be trapped, except for immediate relatives, of course, and adoption cases out of Haiti. All right. Burma is on the list. Burma is on the list. Someone is asking, what about the EB3 For Burma, the visa will not be issued, okay? That will not be issued during this time. Now, again, they said in the proclamation that within 90 days they will submit an assessment to see whether they need to modify or end any particular ban, and then every 6 months after that, they're going to reassess to see whether they need to make changes. Okay, so that's how they're doing it. Cameroon is not on the list. Venezuela is on the list. Okay, a partial ban is in effect for Venezuela. And let's see something here. Let me just jump back on. Let's go back. Let's go up to Venezuela. The rationale for adding Venezuela to the partial ban list is this: Venezuela lacks a competent, that's what it says. Okay, a competent or cooperative central authority for issuing passports or civil documents, and it does not have appropriate screening and vetting measures. Venezuela has also historically refused to accept back its removable nationals, and according to the visa, get this, guys, according to the Overstay report, Venezuela had a B1, B2 overstay rate of 9.83%. Sounds like a big problem to me, right? And so then the entry into the United States of nationals of Venezuela as immigrants and as non-immigrants on B1, B2, FM, and J visas is hereby suspended. Consular officers shall reduce the validity for any non-immigrant visa issued to nationals of Venezuela to the extent permitted by law. Okay, that's the rationale there. Someone said, what happened to my Congo? What is the reason for the Republic of Congo? Samba is asking. Well, let's just go there and take a look. So Congo is on the full suspension. So Section 2 of the travel ban list. We're going to post on social media. My colleague just sent me a draft of the post. We're going to share a news carousel with you guys momentarily about the ban. So, as far as Congo is concerned, the rationale for Congo, the Republic of Congo, says according to the Overstay report, folks on a visitor visa to the United States typically overstay by 29.63%, and students overstay at a rate of 35%. And therefore, the entry into the United States is by any national of the Republic of the Congo is fully suspended. That's the reason. It's just a visa overstay issue. I think they need to, show certainly, I have never seen the full report, honestly, on the visa overstay. I don't even know if a report exists. It has never been anything I've thought about until now. Would be really interesting to see a comparative look at other countries, maybe European countries, to see what their visa overstay rate is like in comparison with some of these countries that are banned. Okay. Someone says, is it DR Congo or the Republic of Congo ban? It's the Republic of Congo. There are two, for those of you who don't know that. Syria is not on the list, Mike, right? Yeah, Syria is not on this list. Nigeria is not on it. Benin is not on it. Liberia is not on it. I'm getting all these questions about this. Is the Philippines on it? No, Philippines is not on the travel ban list. Cameroon is not on it either. Okay. Okay, Jamaica is out. Okay, let's go back here. Let's go to section 3 again. Go down. Thank you, by the way, for being with me tonight um, as we discuss what's going on here. See something here. Okay, I have determined to partially restrict and limit the entry of nationals of the following 7 countries: Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. These restrictions distinguish between, but apply to both the entry of immigrants and non-immigrants. Let's see something here. Let's go back up here. Okay. Burkina Faso is not on the list either. Belize is not on the list. Iran is definitely on the list. It's a full suspension. Pakistan, oh, by the way, yeah, Pakistan is not here. Pakistan is not on the list, okay? I don't know if they're going to come out with anything additional to this, but as of now, Pakistan is not on the list. Please post. So we're going to post right now on social media. An article breaking this down so that those of you who are on social media will see this as well. Senegal is not on the list. Ghana is not on the list. Iraq is not on the list. Yeah, right? Iraq is not on this list either. But yes, Haiti. I know, that's I know the Haitian community tonight is really, really upset. As a green card holder, can I travel? Yes, you can travel. Most people with a green card have no problem traveling, okay? And green card holders are not impacted by the travel ban that came out today. Guys, share this information with your feed with other people. Share them in your story. If you see our posts about these things, our team, they were sometimes work very late into the midnight hour and later to get you the information fast on social media. When you see us posting around the clock, it's because of the dedication of these folks. We're committed to getting you information. So share it in your stories as well so that your audience will be able to get these videos. So we're going to send out some reels about this. We're going to keep this one very short. I'm going to end it momentarily so that let's get the reels. Let's get it's like almost 11 o'clock at night and I'm asking about reels, but that's how we do it. Let's get the reels prepared right away. Okay. All right. Does this impact U.S. citizens? If you were born in one of these, no, U.S. citizens have a right. This person is asking, does this impact U.S. citizens if one was born in one of these banned countries? No, this U.S. citizens are not connected to any kind of travel ban. You have a right to enter into the United States. I know we're all thinking like worst case scenarios these days in light of everything that we're seeing, but you have a right to enter into the United States. It doesn't matter whether you were born in Haiti or Iran or Somalia, and you're a U.S. citizen now. So you have nothing to worry about with respect to your entry. If you're just joining on TikTok, we're talking about the travel ban that was issued by the White House tonight, and 19 countries are on this list. 12 of them are fully suspended from travel to the United States, meaning immigrant visas and non-immigrant visas will not be issued during the time that the ban is in place. And then 7 countries are partially banned, okay? It doesn't apply completely across the board. But in order to know the specifics of the partial ban, you have to look at the proclamation from the White House that describes how the partial ban works per country. This doesn't apply to green card holders, dual citizens, diplomats, certain athletes, immediate relatives of U.S. citizens, and such, okay? Haiti didn't even make the partial ban list. They put Haiti on the full suspension list. I'm getting a lot of questions about Haiti, okay? Let's see. This goes into effect on Monday, 12:01 a.m. Eastern time on Monday. Okay, let's go freedom now. Okay, thank you. Um, Students are not going to be able to be issued a visa. Someone is asking about that from Haiti. They're not going to be able to get a visa to come to the United States during the time that Haiti is on this list, unfortunately. Simon, thank you. Simon says, "Do you know how much?" I did say Simon says. I really did. Simon, this is true. Simon says, "Do you know how much we love you?" Thank you, Simon. I appreciate that. Um, let's see. About the visas that have already been issued, you're in the clear, you're fine, and they're not going to revoke the visa. This applies to visas that have yet to be issued, that will be issued, that's, after the effective date. Okay, it applies to visas that you're seeking after the effective date of this proclamation, which is on Monday. Okay. Ethiopia is not on the list either. Ethiopia is not on the list. Um, do you predict there might be additional countries as time goes by? Um, it's hard to say. I know I did that video in March, on March 7th that got like over 8 million views, the highest viewed video I've ever done, ever. And it was about the travel ban, and a lot of reliable resources went into something like that from credible sources like the New York Times, and every major news outlet was talking about those three color coded designations, right? And based on those early speculation, there were a lot of other countries that were being considered. Do I put it past this administration to add more? I really don't. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard. What do you think, right? Based on what you're seeing right now, we just know that a lot of other countries are not on this list, and that's actually a good thing. Is Ghana on the list? No, Ghana is not on the list. Benin has been spared. Okay, not on the list either. Okay, oops. Kenya is not banned either. TPS for Haiti, it still has, there's still that August end date. Litigation is still going on. I would say that if you have a pending green card case here in the United States, obviously, I don't necessarily think it's a good idea for you to go back to a travel ban country, right? I don't feel comfortable with that. Is South Africa on the list? No. Immediate relatives from Haiti are able to come in. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And so we're talking about children of US citizens, if they're under 21 and unmarried. We're talking about a parent of a US citizen, and we're talking about a spouse of a US citizen. If you're from any of the travel ban countries, you have nothing to worry about. You will be able to get your immigrant visa to enter the United States. It's just that they're going to give you a harder time at the embassy with wanting to get more information and documents from you. A lot more vetting will be done um, uh, for immediate relatives of US citizens. Okay. Let's see. Let's keep going. Burundi is on the list. Burundi is on which list is it on? Burundi partial ban list. Okay. If you're just joining, thank you so much for joining. We're talking about breaking news. the travel ban has finally been released so that we know exactly which countries are impacted. And there are 19 countries that are impacted. 12 of them are facing a full ban, suspended travel, cannot travel to the United States unless they are green card holders, of course, dual citizens, and some others, immediate relatives of US citizens. There are two Congos. Yes, I know. It's the Republic of Congo that is on the full suspension list. Um, if you and also the proclamation says that this doesn't stop individuals from seeking asylum in the United States. They could still seek asylum, ask for asylum, and it doesn't apply to those who have already been granted asylum here in the United States. Also, if you're a refugee inside of the United States or you were granted withholding of removal or protection under CAT, this doesn't apply to you. And you national interest waivers, attorneys will be working on national interest waivers to make an argument to the Department of Justice about why some individuals should be able to come to the United States despite the fact that there's this ban. Now, they say, okay, within 90 days, they're going to do an assessment to determine whether they will modify or terminate a ban. Um, uh, they say that they're going to be doing that. But certainly this has been this was part of the first administration. They learned how to do it. They navigated some rough waters on the litigation court side of things. And so this was written very differently than the bans from way back when during Trump 1.0. So they know that they could get away with un- get away with most of these, although the rationale for some countries are incredibly weak. One country had a visa overstay rate of 9%, and that's the reason, or they don't accept nationals back who are being deported, and that's the reason for this. It's really crazy. The Gambia is not on this list. Okay? The Gambia is not on this list. Um, and is here. Um, okay. Let's see. Is it true that if you get denied for naturalization, you'll get deported? Unrelated to the travel ban issue, but I'm going to answer this because it's an important question here. So the government, USCIS has a policy that's called the NTA Notice to Appear policy, which says that if you apply for like a green card or a naturalization and they deny your case and they find that you have fraud on your record or a criminal issue that they're concerned about, history that they're concerned about, well, they will place you in removal. Is it possible that they're going to place every single person in removal? I don't really think so, but they've been a lot more aggressive this time around than the first time around. And so it depends on the reason why your naturalization case is denied, why a naturalization case is denied, and whether they're going to seek to revoke the green card and all of that. For some people, it does get very ugly and it gets to that point. But for other people, it doesn't usually go that far. All right. Why Togo? Did I miss that one? What was the rationale for Togo? Let's go back here. Togo is under section 3 here. Let's see what did I read Togo rationale earlier? Okay, here we go. Here's the reason why Togo, tiny country, is on the list. According to the Overstay report, Togo has consular officers shall reduce the validity for any other non-immigrant visa issued to nationals of Togo to the extent permitted by law. So that's for other visa categories. They're going to reduce the validity of those. It makes no sense. That really makes no sense. I have to wonder if it's kind of personal, and I don't know how would Togo make the list. Why would Togo make the list? Guys, I know that there are a lot of you watching right now on YouTube in particular, but I'm going to jump off and TikTok. Thank you for being with me. We're going to um, publish this again in pieces on social media. So follow us on social media on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at McBean Immigration Law. We're going to watch the replay so that you'll get the summary of what I've shared earlier about who is exempt from the travel ban, and all of the other details that I shared with you related to the travel ban. Thanks so much for being with me tonight, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.